And hello class, good evening everyone and welcome back. Guys, we are looking at input tax credit, but not really. I'm very happy to say that we are done with this chapter called input tax credit. Not just this huge humongous chapter, not just that we have done this well, we've also done the next chapter which is called payment under GST really well. A small 1-2 points are left, but I can do that later on. But right now I want to dive into this chapter's questions. We've already started seeing one examination question. I want to do all of them before we move to anything else. No hurry guys. So this is what we are looking at. I'm just going to upload the question bank here. First we'll do the examination question, because you know guys, examination gives you a good idea of what to expect in your exam next. So this is where we are. Alright, payment and ITC, this is the chapter that we are looking at. We've done one question already, but there are so many. So this is what we've done. This was for 8 marks. Another one coming up for 8 marks guys. This one again is for how many marks? 8 marks again. Everyone eyes on the prize. Mr. Gray, I'm just going to zoom out a little bit so that I can write better. Yes, Mr. Gray, a registered taxable person. Please tell me guys, if he is registered, is the government happy? Yes, under the regular scheme provides the following information in respect of supplies made by it during the month of April. Guys, this is the month. Is month important? Yes guys, month is important. Guys, there are some interstate supply. Supply leads to what guys? Supply leads to liability. Again, intrastate supply. Supply leads to liability. Again, supply leads to liability. So these three things are supply. They will give you a liability. Liability means your liability ledger or register. Next guys, they also have the following inward supplies. Inward supplies means what guys? Inward supplies is purchases. Purchases will give you credit. So this will help you build your Paytm balance or electronic credit ledger. Can we have opening balance of ITC? Yes, we can. These are the opening balances guys. Always I first, then C and then S when you write. In terms of using it, I'll show you how to pay. But this is what is. There is some additional information here. And this is compute the net GST payable in cash by Messrs. Gray for the month of April 2019. Alright. All the rates are rate of GST in respect of all inward and outward supplies except item number 2, whichever that item number is 18%, Cgst, SGST 99%. So this is what it is. Let's start. Guys, everyone, first we will make our electronic liability register. We are starting with I, then C and then S. Participate wholeheartedly guys in this. We look at additional information. If there is any additional information with respect to this supply, no. So let's start guys. Interstate supply of goods. So 1 lakh guys, interstate into 99%, sorry no, into 18%. How much will that be? Will it give it a liability? Yes, supply gives a liability. 18,000 rupees here. Guys, I hope this is clear. If it's clear, I need responses in the chat box. Intrastate supply of 500 packets of detergent at 400 each. So 500 packets at 400 each. So 500 into 400, the value of supply is 2 lakhs. But it's detergent with a plastic bucket. Guys, is it a mixed supply? You don't have to guess. They've only told you mixed supply. We do so much hard work and then they tell the answer. It's very disappointing, but it's good. Detergent is 18%, bucket is 28%. So which rate will apply? 28% will apply. So on 2 lakh, 28%, but this is intrastate. So 14%. Guys, so 28,000 is here what we need to pay, and 28,000 is to the state that we need to pay. All right. Next, supply of online educational journals to Messrs. Pinnacle, a private coaching center. Guys, you wouldn't believe, but I'm a part of a class in Mumbai, and that class is called Pinnacle. So it was a part of this paper. Supply of online educational journals to Messrs. Pinnacle, a private coaching center providing tuitions to standard 10th and 12th, being intrastate supply. Guys, online journals is exempt if it's provided to a college. Is this a college? No. So then will this be taxable? Yes. So 50,000, it's intrastate, so 50,000 into 99%. That is 4,500 Cgst and 4,500 SGST. Mrs. Gray has also received the following inward supplies. Guys, inward supplies means what? Inward supplies means credit. So this is electronic credit ledger. Again IGST first, then C and then S. Let's put the opening balance. 40,000 is IGST, 5,000 is CGST and 5,000 is SGST. Opening balances are covered. Next, interstate supply of goods, out of which invoice for goods worth 20,000 is missing and no other tax paying document is available. So unfortunately for 2,000 guys, will you get any credit? No, because the document is missing, section 16(2)(a) DRGR. But on the remaining 50,000 guys, will you get credit? Yes, it is interstate, so 50,000 into 18%, so you'll get 9,000 credit. In this case, purchases leads to credit. And next, repairing of bus with a seating capacity of 20 passengers. Guys, is the bus allowed? Is it GST please? Yes, it's more than 13 passengers. So if the bus is allowed, even repairing will be allowed. Intrastate 50,000. So on 50,000, 99% is 4,500, 4,500. So let's total up. This is 49,000. This is 9,500 and this is 9,500. Let's check guys, anything else left? No, nothing else left. So let's pay our bills. Everyone, you and me, let's do this together. First guys, which money will you use? First you will use the parent's money. Who is the parent here guys? The parent is IGST. So 18,000 is their bill. They can happily pay it. 18,000 is paid. This is done. Out of this, 18,000 gets used up. So how much is left guys? 49 minus 18 is 31,000. Next, 9,500, 9,500, their bill is 32,500 and 32,500. Guys, please tell me, are both of them needy? Are both of them hungry? Yes. And hungry in the same level? Yes, hungry in the same level. So can I use 31,000 and bifurcate between the two equally? Yes. But first I have to adjust 31,000. So I'm using 31,000. So this is over, this is exhausted. And I'm using it. So this 31,000 divided by 2 is 15,500 here and 15,500 here. So how much is the balance? 32,500 minus 15,500 will give you 17,000 and 17,000. Now guys, they will use their own money. So 9,500 used here over, 9,500 used here over. So 9,500, 9,500 if you minus, it will give you a balance of, this will be 7,500 in cash and here also 7,500 in cash. Is this what you will have to pay? Yes, this is what you will have to pay. Guys, another right answer. No, I'll tell you how to present it. Guys, in the exam, the way you will present it is you will make a table and you will write the description here. So how did you get 18,000, 28, 28, you will write the description. If you have not gotten a liability or if you have not got credit, you will have to write working notes. So you will have to explain using particulars which I have not written. Then you will have to minus it in the same way and ultimately you have to pay. Guys, what if instead of this, my answer was SGST 15,000 or CGST 15,000, same answer would be right. As long as it's not more than 15,000, it would be the right answer. Guys, this is what you get 8 marks for in the exam. I'll show you how to present also on the last day guys. Tomorrow I'll show you, we'll pick up some questions and we'll answer, but as long as you're getting the right answers, should be good. You just need to put right details. Next, K&K, a registered supplier of Mumbai, is a manufacturer of heavy machines. Is the government happy guys? Yes. For the month of Jan 2020, the outward supplies means what? Supply leads to liability. We can make the electronic credit ledger. The rate of C and S and I is 9, 9 and 18%. Details of GST paid on inward supplies are as follows. So guys, let's make the electronic credit ledger. On 85 lakh interstate into 18%, that is 15 lakh 30,000. I'll make it on the next page. So here we go, electronic liability ledger, IGST, CGST, SGST. This is 15 lakh 30,000 on the interstate supply. What about intrastate supply? 15 lakh on that 99%. So 15 lakh into 9% is 1 lakh 35, 1 lakh 35. People who are just watching this like a movie guys, ICI will also show a movie which you will not like in the exam, because ICI will surprise you and you will be caught off guard. Use your calculators and use them well, guys, and answer. Please be a part of this, not watch it like a movie. Perfect. These are the purchases made. Let's see what purchases have been made. Raw material A, out of which 70% of the inputs procured were used and 30% were in stock. Doesn't matter if they were used or in stock, you will still get this 60,000. So Cgst 60,000. Sorry, my bad. This is credit. This is purchase. So we will have to make an electronic credit ledger. In that IGST C and S, if there's any opening balance, we'll write the opening balance. Doesn't look like there was an opening balance. Amount of eligible input tax credit available for the month of Jan. There's no opening balance, guys. So we'll straight take this 60 and 60. We will put it here. Any additional information we will change, but right now we can take 60 and 60. Next. So someone asked a question, Venkat, when you write 60 and 60 here, you can write a working note that since even stock you can take credit since it is used for the purpose of business or intended to be used for the purpose of business. Next, raw material B. Out of which 90% material was received in the factory and the remaining material completely damaged due to a road accident on the way to the factory. So out of 50,000, guys, 90% only you will get. So you will only get 45,000, and you will write a working note that as per section 15.17(5)(h), happy and unhappy, you will not get on that remaining 10%. Construction of pipelines laid outside the factory premises, you will not get anything, and you will write a working note saying that it is blocked under section 17(5)(c). Insurance charges paid for trucks used for transportation of goods. Is the goods transport truck allowed? Yes. So insurance will also be allowed. Yes, 55,000 and 55,000. Till now there is no IGST, guys. Next, there is no opening balance of the ITC. Details of GST paid on inward supplies are available in GSTR 2A except for item number 1, raw material A, for which the supplier has not filed his GSTR 1. Guys, for this raw material he has not filed GSTR 1. So will you now get any credit? Unfortunately, no, you will not. Earlier there was a rule of 36(4). Now there is no rule. So I'm removing this and I'm removing this from my calculation. That's why read the sum before and writing it in fair, guys. Now, guys, am I ready to pay? Yes, I'm ready to pay. So let's total it up. This is how much? This is 40, 50, 1 lakh. This is also 1 lakh. Let's start. Guys, do the parents have any money? No, parents have no money. So their amount is anyways exhausted. Cgst and SGST we will use, but they will help themselves first. So Cgst 1,35,000, 1,35,000. So they will pay 1 lakh here. 35,000 remains. And this guy will also pay 1 lakh and 35,000 remains. Guys, how will you pay the balance? This 35, this 35 and this 15 lakh 30. How will you pay it? Can I not pay it? No, guys, you have to pay it, and you'll have to pay it in cash. If you don't pay it, you'll have to pay interest, and at CA final you'll also have to pay penalties. Alright, another good sum done, guys. Let's move to this sum now. Everyone, good question here. This is a combination of value of supply and ITC both. So let's see if your value of supply concepts are still intact. Star Limited, a registered supplier in Karnataka, has provided the details of supply of one machine. Guys, this is a supply. Supply leads to liability, but this is the value of supply we need to find out. Guys, do we start with the list price? Yes. What is the list price? 80,000. Tax levied by local authority. Do we add the tax? Yes. Except GST and except TCS, you will add this. So 86,000. Discount of 2% recorded in the invoice. Will I minus it? Yes. 80,000 into 2%, 1600 I will minus. And packing expenses for transportation charge separately. Will I add this? Yes. She received 5,000 as subsidy from an NGO on the sale of each such machine. Is it linked to the supply of the subsidy? Yes. From an NGO, that means non-government. Price of 80,000 is after considering such subsidy. So guys, they've already minus the subsidy. Do we have to add this subsidy? Yes. So 80,000 plus 6,000 plus 4000 plus 5000 minus 1600. The value of supply is 93,400. That is the value of one machine. Ajit, Venkat, Vaishnavi, good calculations, very fast. Good job, guys. Next, during the month of February 2020, Star supplied 3 machines intrastate and 1 machine interstate. So guys, is this supply which will relate to liability? Yes, so let's put our electronic liability register. I, C and S. How many machines interstate? 1 machine. So 93,400. What is the rate, guys? We don't know the rate. Let's check the rate on the machine. The rate on the machine is 9918%. So interstate only 1 machine. So 93,400 into 18% is 16,812. This is what you'll have to pay. Good, Ajit. And 93,400 into how many machines interstate, guys? Intra 3 machines into 3, that is 2,82,200 into 9% is 25,218. Perfect, guys. These are the calculations till now. Next, you purchase certain inputs for 1,20,000 exclusive of GST for supplying the above 4 machines. Guys, will you get credit? Yes. So this is my credit ledger, electronic credit ledger, IGST C and S. Purchase inputs intrastate for 1,20,000 on 1,20,000, guys. This is intrastate, so 99%, that is 10,800 and 10,800. Next, the balance of ITC at the beginning. Let's see the balance, guys. The balance unfortunately is on the next page. IGST is how much? IGST is last, then first, and then second. Last, first, second. 26, 18 and 4. So 26, 18 and 4,000. Let's total it up. This is 26,000. This is 28,800 and this is 14,800. Everyone, I am a little short on space here, so you will have to help me, guys. First, what do we use? We pay IGST liability, 16,812 paid. This is done. And from 26,000, 16,812. So that leaves us with 9,188. Who is more needy, guys, here? Please tell me, is Cgst needy or Sgst needy? Cgst has enough money, Sgst is needed. So can I help everything to S? Yes, because C is not hungry only, he does not need food, so you can put everything here. Yes, 9,188. So 25,218 minus 9,188 will give you 16,030. Is this exhausted? Yes. Now 28,800, 25,218. Is this full? Yes, this is full. So 28,800 minus 25,218 is 3,582. This we'll have to carry forward. And this is 14,800. This is 14,800. This is over. So the balance 16,030 minus 14,800. This 1,230 you'll have to pay in cash. So that's your answer, guys. SGST in cash 1,230 and 5,3,582 will be carried forward. That's your answer. That's your 8 marks again in your pocket. Guys, now please tell me, guys, can you see the sum on your screen? Yes, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to do the same thing what we've done for this sum. Over to you all. Try it. I'm giving you 2-3 minutes and then we'll discuss it together as well. Everyone, go for it. Make your liability register, make your credit ledger and try solving this sum. Guys, X Electronics is a registered manufacturer of electrical appliances. It made contract with dealers that purchase of air conditioners of capacity 1.5 ton in the month of October of quantity of more than 50 units will give them a 10% discount. Guys, let's see if the dealers have bought more than 50 units. Intrastate supply made during the month of October is 50 lakh. Details of intrastate suppliers are under. Guys, these are all intrastate supply. That means 99% GST. So this is electronic liability register, IGST, C and SGST. Let's do this. Guys, supply of microwave oven 15 lakh. So 15 lakh into 9% is 13 lakh 50,000 here and 13 lakh 50,000 here. Next, supply of refrigerators with stabilizers being a mixed supply. Rate is 28% and 18, which will apply, guys. 28% will apply. Now this is refrigerators, guys. There is no scheme on refrigerators, this is only on AC. So on 40 lakh into 14% is 5 lakh 60, 5 lakh 60. And last, guys, supply of air conditioners at 50,000 per air conditioner is 50 lakh. Guys, here all the supply was made to one dealer only. So guys, 50 lakh at 50,000. That means they purchase 100 quantity. Will they get a 10% discount? Yes. So only on, it's not on 50,000 anymore. It's on 45,000, guys. So this value will change. 45,000 into 100 is 45 lakhs. And on 45 lakhs, guys, 99%, that is 4 lakh 5, 4 lakh 5. This is so simple, and Indians not getting it is surprising, guys. Indians love discounts. We all know discounts really, really well. So this is 4 lakh 5, 4 lakh 5. Perfect. This is what your liability is. Now let's see your purchases. Inward supplies, raw material, paid gym membership, truck purchase for transportation of good. Gym membership is not obligatory. Alright, so this is the electronic credit ledger. Is there an opening balance I, C and S? Yes, 10 lakhs is the IGST balance. A lot of balance, guys. SGST, GST has 58,000 and SGST has 70,000. Guys, are we ready to pay the bills? Yes. First, raw material is 20 lakh. Is this intrastate? Yes. So 20 lakh into 99% is 1 lakh 80 and 1 lakh 80. Gym memberships you don't get. Truck purchase for transportation of goods, do we get on this? Yes, do we get? 30 lakh into 99% is 2 lakh 70, 2 lakh 70. I don't have too much space, so I'm just going to write it here, 2 lakh 70. So let's total it up, guys. IGST, nothing. CNS, can someone total it up? 13 lakh 50, 5 lakh 60, 4 lakh 5 will give you 23 lakh 15,000 here. Similarly, 23 lakh 15,000 here as well. Totaling this up, 58 plus 1 lakh 80 plus 2 lakh 70 will give you 5 lakh 8 here. And 2 lakh 70 plus 70 plus 1 lakh 80 will give you 5 lakh 20 here. I don't have space, so I'm just going to write it here, 5 lakh 20. Let's now pay our bills, guys. IGST first exhaust, there's nothing here, so this bill is paid off. So 10 lakh, guys. Who is more needy? Please tell me, guys. Are both needy? Yes, guys, both have very little money and both have a lot of bill. So just pay 5 lakh, both 5 lakh here, 5 lakh here. So what does the bill become? This gets over. 23 lakh 15 minus 5 lakh will give you 18 lakh 15. But why did I do it equally? Because, guys, both are hungry. I'm not feeding one more than the other at the cost of the other person. So both are okay. 18 lakh 15, 18 lakh 15. Now you pay, and the balance, guys, 18 lakh 15 minus 5 lakh 8. That is 13 lakh 7 will have to be paid here in cash. And 18 lakh 15 minus 5 lakh 20. So 12 lakh 95 will have to be paid in SGST in cash. So this is compute the net GST payable in cash by the electronics company. Alright, so guys, the only rule is if both are needy, then you have to help both, but you cannot feed. If one person only wants 100 rupees, you cannot give him 150 at the cost of the other. That's the condition you have to follow. Very simple, guys. Please check 6 marks. I am giving you exactly 1 minute to do this and to get me the final ITC available with A for the month of December. Guys, so the first one, goods used in constructing an additional floor on office building. Can I get this? No, it's blocked under 17.5C. Goods given as free samples. No, this is blocked under 17.5H. Trucks used for transportation. Yes, this is available. Inputs used in trial runs. Yes, this is available. Confectionery items for consumption of employees working in the factory. No, this is not available. Confectionery items are food items, guys. Cement used for making foundation to plant and machinery. Yes, this is available. So 3 available, guys. You will add up 11,9 is about 29,000 around. So total of electronic liability ledger was 11 lakh. No problem. The answer will change, but the concept still is the same, Venkat. I hope you understand. Thank you for that. Perfect. Guys, moving on to the next question. This is an RTP question. B and Brothers is exclusively engaged in making exempt supply of goods and is thus not registered under GST. Guys, if you are only making exempt supply, do you have to register under GST? No. On 1st October, the exemption available was withdrawn. Guys, now is the government going to be very happy? Yes, from 1st October. On that day, the turnover of B and Brothers was 50 lakh. Guys, examine the eligibility for availing ITC. Can they avail ITC? Yes, they will have to register immediately because their turnover is 50 lakh. And now will they get ITC? Yes. But what about the stock, guys? What about the stock? Can they take credit on the stock also? Yes. And what about the capital goods? Can they take credit on the capital goods also? Yes. This is section 18.1C. Register voluntarily credit expires. 18.1D, sorry. Next, Mamta Sales trades in exempt goods and provides taxable services. It gets registered under GST. On 1st October, the exemption available on the goods gets withdrawn. Guys, if the exemption on the goods gets withdrawn, is the government going to be happy? Yes. Again, the same thing. They will start getting credit on the stock as well as on capital goods. Analyze the scenario and determine the eligibility of Mamta Sales for availing ITC, if any, on inputs and capital goods used in the supply of exempt goods. Exempt goods they will not get, but taxable goods from then onwards they will get. Alright. Guys, next question, again an RTP question. This is a company called XY in Calcutta, engaged in the supply of various goods and services. It pays GST under regular scheme. The following information is provided by it for the month of July. Guys, payments means, are these purchases? Do you pay for your purchases? Yes. And receipts means, are these supplies? Yes. So let's focus on one of them. The following additional information is provided by XY to the above receipts. So let's see the additional information. Oh, there's a lot of additional information. So we'll just discuss it, guys. We'll not solve this question. We'll just discuss it. So here we go. This is interstate supply. So will it lead to IGST? Yes. Intrastate supply, will it lead to C and SGST? And intrastate supply, again, will it lead to C and SGST? Yes. One calculator, one diary, so mixed supply. And this is a business correspondent to a bank in urban areas. Guys, will this be under RCM? Yes. So you don't have to pay on this. The bank will have to pay. So this is not your liability. The bank will have to pay. Interstate purchases of office stationery, will you get credit of this? Yes. Repairing of lorry for transportation of goods, will you get credit of this? Yes. Lorry is goods. You will get the credit in this case. Checking. 10% of the interstate supply of office stationery are made to unregistered persons. Guys, even if you sell to unregistered person, does not matter. Whoever you are supplying to does not matter. Guys, if Chroma supplies a laptop to you or to me, in both the cases, will they charge GST? Yes. Each combi pack of calculator and diary is priced at 800. The calculator and diary are individually packed at 100 and 200 respectively. Guys, this is a pack together and hence a higher rate will apply. It's a mixed supply. An invoice of 40,000 towards purchase is missing and no other tax. So if is the missing document, guys, will you get any credit? No. All the figures mentioned above are exclusive of taxes. Office stationery is 18%. Diary is 1428. So diary rate will apply in case of mixed supply. This is the opening balance of IGST, S and Cgst. Guys, this is the simplest question. I don't think this will ever come in your exam. This is supplier of goods. Please tell me, on purchases, what will you get? Credit. And he is at Bhatinda. Bhatinda is Punjab. So this you will get IGST credit. This you will get C and SGST credit. And on sales and supply, guys, what happens on sale and supply? It is liability. So on this you will pay IGST. On this you will pay C and SGST. So are both your ledgers made? Yes. This is the opening balance and you will have to pay. That is very, very simple. And we come to the last question, guys, here. Mr. Nikunj is a supplier of goods, pays GST in the regular scheme. He has made the following outward supplies in the month of August. Intra-state supply, guys, will it lead to C and SGST liability? Interstate IGST liability. These are purchases made next paid. Purchases leads to credit. Very simple. Intrastate purchase, interstate purchase, opening balance. Guys, this will never come in your exam. It's too simple. They will give some documents missing, some goods not received. They will give you all those things to add flavor to this question. Alright. This rule 86B is something that we will do either today or maybe tomorrow. So this rule 86A and rule 86B, one of them will definitely be there in your exam, guys, in November 2022. We'll do both of these in good amount of detail, guys, very small, 10 minutes, but we'll do them tomorrow, not today. This is returns chapter. No, sorry, this is payment only. Okay. This is late fee. Actually, this is a returns chapter question. Just 1 second. Yes. Please read the question, guys. Please tell me whether she can move the amount. Messrs. Daksha has made a cash deposit of 10,000 under minor head tax of major head SGST. It has a liability of 2,000 under minor head interest of major head SGST. Guys, can she move the money from one to the other in the cash ledger? Yes, there is a section called 4910 and there is a GST PMT 09. State the items which are to be debited to the electronic liability ledger register TIFPO. All can be debited. And how will you pay? First prior period, then current period, and then determined by the GST officer. This is rule 86A. We will do this tomorrow. Explain the order of discharge of tax and other dues. Guys, how do you discharge the tax and other dues? First prior period, then current period, and then by the GST officer. This was surprising for 5 marks. Very, very simple, surprisingly for 5 marks. But TIFPO of the prior period, TIFPO of the current period, TIFPO determined by the GST officer. Alright. Guys, there are some more questions, but we'll have to put an end to this. We'll do the last question here and then we'll put an end to this. Suhasini is a registered software consultant. On account of her ill health, she could not provide any services, so there is no supply. Outward supply is not there. However, she had to incur all the expenses. So she basically had inward supply. Yes, she had to incur expenses. She paid 75,000 to her vendors. The total GST involved in the goods and services by her is 13,500. These are purchases. Can she take credit? Yes, 13,500. She can take credit. Out of the total bills paid by her, one bill of 15,000 relates to security services. availed for security of her office on which tax is payable under reverse charge. The GST is 2700. So guys, one of the purchases on which she has to pay 2700. Guys, can she pay using the credit of 13,500? No, she has to pay this RCM in cash. Suhasini is of the opinion that for the month of October, no GST is payable from the electronic cash ledger. Her view is wrong because this 2700 has to be paid through the cash ledger. Do you think Suhasini is right? No, Suhasini is wrong. Guys, the RCM tax has to be paid through the cash ledger. Please tell me, electronic credit ledger can be used only to pay one type of tax. What is that? FCM tax only. Alright, I am exiting this, guys. We've done a lot of questions from this chapter already. I am not looking at the module question, guys, because I want to move ahead to the next. If we get time again, we will come back, but right now I want to move to the next chapter. So if we get time, we'll come to the ITC questions from the module as well. Perfect. So now guys, we are looking at two chapters. One is the tax invoice chapter and one is the returns chapter. We are to look at both chapters. First, I'm going to look at the returns chapter and then I'm going to look at the invoice chapter. Alright. Guys, looking at the returns chapter, it's a very interesting chapter and not really very big. So let's try and see what is the returns chapter. It has one new thing which we will discuss when we finish the entire chapter. Guys, this is EBC, our best friend forever, and they have purchased some bikes from battery supply company. Are they registered? Yes. Will they take credit of this? Yes. So this supply is called B2b supply because it's made to a registered person. Battery supply company has also made another B2b supply to, let's say, a composition scheme dealer. But why is that B2B? Because composition scheme dealer is also registered. Besides, it has also made supplies of batteries to a lot of customers like you, students. And this supply is called B2c supply. Guys, please tell me, do you know what is the difference between B2b and B2c supply? B2b is made to registered persons, B2c is made to unregistered persons. Perfect. Now guys, if EBC wants to take credit, battery supply company has to file a return and tell the government what all supplies they have made. And this is the first return under a section called section 37, and this return is called Gstr 1. GST return 1. Actually, it's not a return, it's just a statement of what all supplies I have made. Obviously guys, this return is a statement of your outward supplies. Yes. And it is a monthly return, so only after the month gets over will you file this return. Yes, you will file it by the 10th of the next month. In reality, this date is the 11th of the next month. So will they ask a question about the date? No, I don't think so, because there are two dates as per law, 10th, but they've extended it to 11th of the next month. So this month, August, May, whatever you supplied, you will file the return by 10th September. Of course, you will have to go online and you will have to fill up this GSTR 1 for the outward supplies. Guys, when you fill the details for B2B supplies, please tell me, will they take credit? Or once they get registered, will they take credit? Yes. So hence they want invoice wise details. So for B2B supplies, you need to give invoice wise details. That invoice number 1, 2, 3 I supplied to EBC. Invoice number 2, 3, 4 I supplied to composition scheme. So you need invoice wise details for B2B. And for B2C guys, do you think you as students care about credit? No, you don't care about credit. So hence in this case, in case of B2C supplies guys, they can give consolidated details all together. Let's say they've supplied 100 batteries, so all 100 batteries together, unless it is interstate greater than 2.5 lakhs. Then in that case also they want invoice wise details. So guys, this is important. B2B always invoice wise, and B2C it will be consolidated details unless it is interstate greater than 2.5 lakhs. Guys, what if it's COVID and no one bought batteries? Then will you file a nil return also? Yes guys, you have to file nil return also, and that is a problem. A lot of people don't forget to file this, and that's why they have to pay fees, because they don't file this on time. And this for nil return, you have an SMS facility also. You can use SMS to file a nil return, which is a good thing. Next, I'll write here only above. Guys, this one GSTR 1, B2B we understood, B2C we understood, nil return we understood. Some people don't have to file this return. Guys, it's a very good shortcut. Is not compulsory. These people don't have to file this return. I'll tell you what is the shortcut. I is input service distributor, CA final. NRTP, which you know, OIDAR, CA final, TDS, TCS person, CA final, but composition scheme people, these are the people who don't have to file this GSTR 1, is not compulsory. So you never have to by heart the list guys, just remember is not compulsory. They don't have to file this GSTR 1. Guys, GSTR 1, is it supposed to be filed the next month? Yes, obviously, because it's monthly supplies. But there are two people who can file it in the same month. One is casual taxable person. He can file it in the same month. And anyone whose registration is getting cancelled, that person can file it in the same month. So these are two exceptions which can file it in the same month. Next, guys, whenever battery supply company tells the government that I have supplied, this data gets auto-populated with electric bike company. Auto-populated means electric bike company on their website or their GST portal, it will reflect that battery supply company has told us that you have submitted or you have bought these batteries. So does it get auto-populated? Yes, GSTR 2A. It is almost, guys, let's say you place an order of Zomato. Let's say you order some pizzas. Today is Saturday night, so you order some pizzas, and that order automatically gets collated with Domino's. So same way GSTR 2A automatically gets auto-populated in GSTR 2A for regular scheme and GSTR 4A for composition scheme. Next, guys, what if you realize that you forgot to put 1/4 supply? You've already filed your return and you forgot to put 1/4 supply. Can you go back and you change the return? No guys, because your return has an impact on other people's ITC. So you cannot go back and you can change. What you can do is, if you realize that you've forgotten one supply in the month of November, then whichever month you discover that error or you discover that omission, in that month's return you can include it. And if there is any GST that is supposed to be payable, because if you forget a supply, that means you've forgotten a liability, so you'll have to pay GST. On that you'll have to pay interest. So this is errors and omissions. It's only human, guys, to make errors. Errors happen, you can't go back and revise, you can only incorporate it in the month this error or omission was discovered. Then guys, this is the biggest return, and this is almost coming to an end. Yes, it is almost coming to an end. So you will fill in the details, whatever supplies you made. Please tell me, will Unacademy file this return, guys? Are they making outward supplies to you? Yes, so they will also file. But guys, none of the students are taking credit, so can they give consolidated details? Yes, unless it is interstate more than 2.5 lakhs. Alright, that is GSTR 1. This is done. Section 37, this is done. Now guys, EBC, because they are buying batteries from battery supply company, there is a provision which has not been notified yet, under section 38, which says that you need to file a GSTR2 for all the inward supplies, but that has not been notified yet, and hence it's not important from our exam perspective at all. But anyways, whatever inward supply is auto populated in GSTR 2A anyways. 2A shortcut is auto populated, so you don't need to do anything in this section. This is a redundant, boring and not important section. But the next section is like the hero of this chapter. Guys, the next section is section 39. Guys, does EBC have to file a return every month about how much supply they have made? Because how will the government know? So they have to tell the government that this is the supply I made, this is my liability, this is what I have purchased, this is my credit, and finally this is the money that I am paying to you. Guys, this return is the main return under GSTR 3B. Actually the number was 3, but 3 has not been notified. What has been notified is 3B. This is a monthly return that you will file. Guys, this is the overall return. Yes. And who decides it? You self-assess it. You decide how much liability, you decide how much credit, and you pay. What if you lie? Don't worry, we can charge you interest. This has to be filed by the 20th of the next month. So once this gets filed by the 10th, the inward supplies or the outward supplies, then you file this by the 20th of the next month. That means for July, by when will you file this? You will file this by 20th August. Everyone's gone into freeze mode, guys. People have gone into their own worlds. Don't let this happen. Please come back. GSTR 3B is a monthly return which you need to file by the 20th of the next month. Alright. Guys, what if you've not made any outward supply, and what if you've not made any inward supply? Then can you file a nil return? Yes, but both sides should be nil, outward also and inward also. And this, you have an SMS facility. Yes, you have an SMS facility. Next, just let me check what else is there in this. Returns now get very small. Guys, here also, if you discover any error or omission, can you go back and revise the returns? No. There is a section called section 39.9 which says that any returns under section 39, if you make a mistake, you correct it in the month you discover the mistake. What if you discover the mistake after 10 years, guys? No. The same time limit which was discussed under section 16.4, which is 20th September, 20th October, or annual return filing date, whichever is earlier, will be the last date by when you can correct. I repeat, can you make a mistake, guys? Yes. Can you go back and change the return? No. You will change the return in whichever month you have discovered the mistake. But what if you discover it after 10 years? Sorry, then you cannot do anything. You will change it maximum by after the year ends, by 20th October or annual return filing date. What else? Yes. Guys, here your liability was 18,000. Your credit was 16,000. Will you pay the balance 2,000? Yes. But what if I just file my return without paying? That's not a valid return. That means, guys, your return should be paid along with the money that you are saying that you need to pay. Guys, has a guest ever come home and given you an empty envelope of money? No, because that you will not like. Same way, can you file the return? Can you say that, listen, I am supposed to pay 2,000 and not pay the money? No, you have to pay the money. Otherwise, it will not be considered valid, guys. For it to be valid, the return has to have come with the payment. Guys, can I file my July return without filing my June return? June I did not want to file because my liability was 2 lakhs. July my liability is 0. Can I file July first? No, you have to go in that order. You cannot file July unless you file June. Alright, is there anything else? Let me check, guys. GSTR 3B. Yes, this has to be filed by everyone. Yes, except is not compulsory. Guys, do you know over is not compulsory? Does it sound familiar now? Yes. ISD, NRTP, OIDAR, TDS, TCS and composition scheme. Out of this and this are CA final. So these people don't have to file their annual, their GSTR 3B. Perfect. Guys, going to the next one. Guys, do you remember this person called the shoe company? He was in a very nice scheme called composition scheme, and he was a composition scheme dealer. Guys, how much GST does he have to pay? Only 1, 5 and 1%. So the government says, listen, you should relax, go to sleep, only wake up 4 times in the year. So composition scheme dealers, they can relax and go to sleep, and they have to wake up only 4 times in the year. Alright, why 4 times in the year? Because guys, they need to every quarter, let's say April, May, June, the quarter ends. By 18th July, they need to pay that 1, 5 and 1% to the government. So guys, will the government expect GST every quarter in this case? Yes. For July, August, September, by 18th October and so on and so forth. This they have to do by filing a document called GST CMP 08. So guys, is the amount taken quarterly? 1, 5 and 1%? Yes. But you don't have to file a return. Just file this amount, pay this amount and go back to sleep. And your main return you have to file only once in a year. Only once in a year you need to file your main return under something called GSTR 4. Guys, please watch out. This is composition scheme. How many times do they wake up? 4 times. They pay the GST, they go back to sleep. They pay the GST, they go back to sleep. And when is their main return to be filed? Only once a year. That's why I call this scheme very easy. They have to file GSTR 4 only once in a year, by 30th April after the year ends. And it's a very simple return, guys, because whomever are you supplying to, are you charging GST? No. Whatever you are purchasing, are you taking credit? No. So you don't have to do all of that here in this case. But guys, can it happen that for some part of the year, like this part of the year, I am under composition scheme, and the remaining part of the year I am under the regular scheme? Yes, it can happen. So while you are in this scheme, you wake up and you pay the money per quarter, and while you are in this scheme, you file your return every month. Alright. So please tell me in the chat box, how many times does the composition scheme dealer have to file its main return GSTR 4? Only once, 30th April. But how many times does it have to pay the GST? 4 times. So are these two delinked? Yes, they are delinked. That means the return and the payment are both delinked. But for us guys, for GSTR 3B, when do you file the return? By 20th. When do you pay? Same day. So are they linked? Yes. For everyone, the return and the payment is linked. Only for this guy, the return is to be filed only once, but the payment has to be done every quarter. Alright. Guys, who is the guy who went to 5 countries and then he's come to India? NRTP. So he has to file something called GSTR 5. GSTR 5 has to be filed by the NRTP. But guys, hasn't he already taken registration and that time only paid the GST? Do we collect GST in advance from him because he might run away? Yes. So why does he have to file the return? Just to tell the government how much he supplied, etc. And if possible, he can take a refund as well. So he has to file a return by the 20th of the next month. So let's say for July, guys, when will he file his return? 20th August. But guys, what if his registration is coming to an end on 2nd August only? Then can he leave for the US back because Elon Musk is waiting for them? Yes. So it's either 20th of the month or within 7 days of registration coming to an end, whichever is earlier. Check if you understand this. July return has to be filed by when? 20th August. No problem. But just check, guys, when is the registration coming to an end? If the registration is coming to an end on 2nd August, then will the government wait till 20th? No, within 7 days of the validity or 20th, whichever is earlier. Guys, what if the registration is coming to an end on 18th August? Then which is earlier? Then 20th August is earlier. So 20th or 7 days. Again, for August you have to go till September. So September is very far. So 7 days from 18th August. So basically what you need to do is just check these two dates. What is the next month's 20th or what is 7 days? Obviously 7 days will be earlier. So in terms of whenever the validity gets ended in 7 days, you need to file your return. That is GSTR 5. And please tell me, guys, are embassies, consulates and United Nations offices important for a country like India? Yes. In that case, guys, do you remember they applied for a unique identity number to take refund of GST? Yes. Good Venkat, good Surabhi, good Dhruti. Yes. And in that case, they have to file their return called GSTR 11. How will you remember this? That India has 11 embassies. How many embassies, guys? 11 embassies. They will file their GSTR 11 again by the 20th of the next month, and they will tell the government, I installed so many ACs, I bought so many laptops, please pay me the GST. Guys, these all returns are all under section 39. Let's check if you remember, guys. GSTR 3B is for all people, everyone, you, me, Unacademy, everyone. GSTR 4 is for whom? Who wakes up 4 times in a year? Composition scheme guy. GSTR 5, who goes to 5 countries? NRTP. And GSTR 11 is 11 embassies, UIN. And section 39(9) says that if you make any mistake, can you correct it? Yes. But is there a timeline? Yes. You cannot correct it after 5 years, 10 years, 20th October or annual return filing date, whichever is earlier. Perfect. So section 37 done. 38 was not notified yet. 39 done. These all were in 39. And now, guys, check if you understand this. You were liable to register on 6th August. You applied on 10th August. Are you proactive? And finally, you got your registration on 18th August. Please tell me your effective date. Your effective date is 6th August. So from 6th to 18th, guys, will you issue revised invoices? Yes, because see, guys, you got your number only on 18th. Between 6th and 18th, your shop was not closed. People bought goods from your shop. So will you issue revised invoices? You will if you want ITC, give and take relationship. If you want ITC, you will issue revised invoices, and only this period's revised invoices will come in a return called the first return. Section 40 talks about first return. Please tell me, guys, is your first birthday of 365 days? And is your 18th birthday also 365 days? Yes. So they are all the same, but still, is your first birthday special? Yes, for your parents at least. So this is called the first return. It's not different from the normal return, but it is only when you have an earlier effective date. Not important section, guys. Section 40 is not important. Just remind me, guys, in the end I will give you 5 chapters names, and those 5 chapters will be the most important chapters. So those chapters are the most important. Just remind me in the end to tell you those 5 chapters. Once we finish, I'll tell you 5 chapters. Alright. Next, guys, is section 44. Please tell me, in your college, at the end of the year, do you get an annual report card? From your college, guys, do you get an annual report card that how have you done throughout the year? The one which you are embarrassed to take to your parents, especially in +1, +2. Yes. So same way in GST also, at the end of the year, you need to file an annual return. How will you file it? You will go to a CA firm. The CA firm will charge you 9 lakh rupees for it, because it takes 44 hours for their entire team to file the return. No, guys, this is just a shortcut. Section 44 and the number is GSTR 9. Guys, annual return obviously is after the year ends. So year ends on 31st March. After that you get till 31st December to file the annual return. So the annual return can be filed by 31st December. There is no hurry. For some people who do Aram, GSTR 9A has to be filed. For the people who do Aram, that is casual, taxable, composition scheme dealer, these are people who do Aram, so they have to file GSTR 9A. For some people who are very big, like e-commerce operators, need to file GSTR 9B. If you can remember, great. If you can't remember, no problem, guys. So what is the main return? GSTR 9. If you are someone who does Aram, then GSTR 9A. If you are someone who is very big, like e-commerce operator, GSTR 9B. And earlier, guys, some people were subject to audit also, but now that requirement is removed. So that is GSTR 9C, where earlier a CA would audit your annual return. Now no audit is required. You just need to self-verify it. Everyone repeat, guys. Please tell me yes or no. Do you need to file an annual return at the end of your year? Yes. By what date do you need to file it, guys? 31st December. Can you file it before that? Yes, yes, always. Alright. 9 is the number. 44 is a section. Remember, 9 lakhs and 44 hours. 9A is for composition scheme because he does Aram. 9B is for e-commerce because they are big. And 9C is for people who are subject to audit, but now audit requirement is removed. You have to self-verify it. And guys, who has to file annual return? Everyone except is not. Any idea, guys, what is the third word? Is not compulsory. No, here it is changed. Is not casual. This and this are the same. This means casual taxable person does not have to file annual return. So that you don't have to by heart it, I have given this shortcut. Is not casual. So GSTR 1 and GSTR 3B was is not compulsory. This one is not casual. I hope that is clear, guys. Next, guys, after 45 crores worth of business, you did 45 crores worth of business, and after 10 years of being in business, you decided to shut down your business. Guys, can it happen that you shut down your business? Yes. And will you cancel your registration? Yes, you will apply for registration to be cancelled. And in that case, Either you will apply or the officer will cancel it. In that case, will you file a final return? Yes, it's a final goodbye. You will file a final return under which section? Section 45. And any guesses, guys, what will be the GSTR number? Any guesses what will be the GSTR number? Excellent, GSTR 10. So after 45 crores and 10 years of business, you decided to cancel your registration. You have to file a final return. This is GSTR 10 in section 45. Guys, final return is like a goodbye, that thank you so much officers, it was nice to know you. No, not exactly, but think of it like this. And this has to be filed within 3 months of later of date of cancellation or date of order of cancellation. Let me explain the difference. Guys, you got a cancellation order today, 6th of August, saying that your registration is going to be cancelled from 31st August. So 3 months will start from when? From 31st August. But if they say today that your registration is already cancelled since 31st July, then 3 months will start from when? From 6th of August, whichever is later is the concept. And guys, lots of people feel if you file the final return, you don't need to file the annual return, but that is wrong. Annual return you have to file, final return also you need to file, but final return is only in the year you are cancelling your registration. Everyone, this is 45 crores, this is 10 years, this is final return. Let's check your knowledge, guys, and your memory. Section 37, 3 plus 7 is what, guys? 3 plus 7 is 10 and 1 plus 0 is 1. So this is GSTR 1. Section 38, not required, but this also has a shortcut, guys. 3 plus 8 is 11. 1 plus 1 is 2. This is GSTR 2, but this has not been notified yet, so not important. Section 39 has GSTR 3B for everyone, GSTR 4 for composition people, GSTR 5 for NRTP, and GSTR 11 for embassies, consulates, etc. Section 40, is it the first return, guys? Is it different from the next return? No, it's not different. Only thing is, if you have the earlier effective date and if you issue revised invoices, those revised invoices will come in this. Guys, do you have to file the annual return? Yes. How much does the CA charge you over that, guys? GSTR 9. And guys, will you file the final return after how many years in business, guys? GSTR 10. This you will file within 3 months of later of. This you will file by 31st December. Perfect. Guys, please tell me, if in life you get everything you want, will you remind your parents that dad, mom, I wanted a laptop, I wanted a mobile phone? No. If you get everything that you want, will you have to remind them? No. But guys, in GST, you are supposed to file your return. If you don't file your return, will the government have to remind you? Yes. So there is a section called section 46 in which they knock on your door, that knock knock, you say who's there, and they say, listen, I'm the GST department, you've not filed your return, what's wrong with you? How will I get my money? How will I know what you've done? So they will remind you through a notice. Yes, this is a notice in case of non-filing. Guys, these notices also come as email only. Everything happens online. And this notice tells you that, listen, yaar, you need to file your return, and they give you 15 days to file your return. So you need to file your return, otherwise a notice comes under section 46. And then when you file your return, guys, will you have to pay any late fee? Please tell me. TIFPO, what is F? F is a fee, so you'll have to pay a late fee, which is important, and it has a small change also, guys. Watch out. They say the late fee is per day. There is a fee of 100 rupees per day. Guys, for businessmen, is 100 rupees a lot of money for businessmen? No, not really. But this is, I'll tell you why this hurts. I'll tell you, because this is 100 rupees per day or 5,000, whichever is less. Why less? It should be a late fee. The government should put more, no? But GST is a new law, and hence whichever is less. Now, please tell me, you got delayed by 5 days. You did not file your return by 5 days. What is the late fee? 500 or 5,000, guys? 500. But you got delayed by 60 days. It will be 6,000. No, guys, it will be maximum 5,000. This is for all returns. Yes, every return like GSTR 1, 3B, 4, 5, every return except the annual return. So for annual return, which you remember, guys, 9 lakhs 44 hours, that annual return, if that is late, then it is 100 per day or 0.25% of turnover, whichever is less. So guys, please tell me, is there a late fee of 100 rupees per day? Yes. Or maximum, how much is it? 5,000. For annual return, it is 100 per day or 0.5% of turnover. So imagine, guys, I'm giving you a very simple example. You started baking cakes at home and you became popular in COVID and you took a GST registration number. But guys, post COVID, no one is ordering cakes from you. So guys, is your supply zero, nil? You called up the CA that, listen, file my nil return. He said, I will charge you to file a nil return also. Guys, so did you not file your nil return? Yes, you forgot about it. You said nil return, who will file, etc., etc. You forgot. Now, is 100 rupees every day piling up? And does it become 5,000? And this is only Cgst. Same thing will also ditto. Same thing will also happen under SGST. So will it become double 5,000? Will it become 10,000? Yes, into 2. Excellent. Guys, imagine for you, you're a cake dealer. For January 5,000, February 5,000, into 2, into 2. So for a whole year, guys, will it be a lot of penalty or late fee? Yes, and that is why it sounds very simple and very small, but it is very difficult, guys, because this return is not per year, it is per month. So for April, May, June, everyone you're paying 5,000 into 2. So is that a lot of late fee? Yes. So they went to the government to beg them that, listen, this is too much of late fee. Can you change it? Can you make it lesser? The government agreed, and here is the lesser amount. They say if your turnover is nil, guys, nil turnover means, are you the smallest businessman? Yes. Then maximum only 250, not 5,000, guys. What is the maximum? 250 if your return is nil. So that cake shop owner, guys, cake person who sells no cakes nowadays, what will be the maximum amount, guys, she'll have to pay? 250 per return. Yes. If the turnover is up to 1.5 crore, that means, guys, are you slightly bigger? Yes. So it's 4 times maximum 1,000. So 250 into 4. So bigger the turnover, bigger the penalty or bigger the fee. If it's more than 1.5 crore and up to 5 crores, guys, are you even bigger? Then it is maximum 2,500. So 250 and 2,500. but still it has not reached 5,000 guys. Still it is lesser than 5,000. And guys, if it's above 5 crores, are you the biggest players like Reliance, ITC, etc.? Yes, then we come back to maximum 5,000. This is double. So this is how I remember, guys. 250 into 4 and 2,500 into 2. That's how I remember. Nil turnover up to 1.5, up to 5 and above 5. Please tell me now, late fee has been rationalized. True or false? True. Instead of 5,000 guys, has it been reduced depending on turnover? Yes. It is 250 or then into 4, or it is 2,500 or then into 2. This has been introduced from 1st of June 21. And this is for GSTR 1 and GSTR 3B. But there is another GSTR called GSTR 4. Do you remember GSTR 4 guys? Who wakes up 4 times? Composition scheme. For that guy, it's very simple. Nil turnover, then maximum 250. And other than nil turnover, maximum 1,000. That means, can I say it's only the first one into 4? Yes. So for composition scheme dealer, it's nil turnover, which is 250, or other than nil, it's into 4. By the way guys, all these are only under Cgst. So for Sgst, do I have to multiply this by 2? Yes. Same under Sgst also, same under Cgst also. So total penalty is into 2. This is your late fee. This is the rationalization. Very few students at CA Inter know this guys, because this seems so complicated, but I have a feeling you understood it well. Let's recap guys. If you don't file your return, will they knock on your door under a notice under 46? Yes. And then when you file your return, will you have to pay a late fee per day? Yes. What is it per day? 100 rupees per day or 5,000 per return. Or if it's annual return, then 100 per day or 0.25%. Guys, this has been rationalized, but not for annual return. Annual return is still this much only. But for GSTR 1 and GSTR 3B, it has been rationalized. And for GSTR 4 also, it has been rationalized. And we come to the last section and this chapter gets over. Then we will look at the quick book module exam questions from this chapter. The last section guys. Please tell me, to file your GST returns, to register yourself, etc. Guys, there is a separate body of people called GST practitioners, which we call GSTP. They have been created. Please tell me, when you're sick, do you go to doctor? Yes. When you're hungry, do you go to a restaurant? Same way, when you have any work in GST, of course you can go to a CA, but besides the CA, you can also go to some people who are registered practitioners called GSTP. So how do you become, guys? Can you become a GSTP? Let's check. You need to be an Indian citizen. Plus, you need to be a person of a sound mind. You have to judge that now. You have to be a solvent person. Alright, so this is very simple. Plus, in terms of qualification, you should be a graduate or a postgraduate in banking, finance, business, commerce, etc. Or you should be CA, CS or CMA fully cleared, not half cleared guys, fully cleared, not CA inter cleared, no, fully cleared. Or before GST we had something called sales tax. You should have been a sales tax practitioner, or you should have been a particular grade officer in the government. This you had to be a practitioner for 5 years previously, or an officer for 2 years. Then in any of these cases you can apply and become a GST practitioner. But is it automatic if I'm a CA, guys? Am I automatically a GST practitioner? No, you have to enroll for it. Once you enroll, they will check your enrollment form and then they will make you GSTP. And it is not forever. You have to give some exams regularly. Every 2 years, every 1 year, you need to give some exams online to clear this, so that they know that you are aware of GST laws. Guys, GSTPs, can I be a GSTP? Yes, I can, because I am all of this and I am, let's say, a CA, so I can be a GSTP. I can enroll. I will get a separate login ID and password, so I don't have to take my client's password, guys. You know how funny the passwords can be. So I don't want to ask my client for his or her password. I can take my own separate ID and password, and I can do all the tasks which are authorized by the client to me. If the client says you can register me, you can apply, you can do filing, you can do computation, all the mark and more, all that he authorizes me to do, I can actually do anything which I am authorized to do. And guys, please tell me, if I make a mistake, who will be responsible? Will I be responsible or will the client be responsible? The client will be responsible, because every time I do something, he has to approve it through OTP. So hence the client will be responsible. This is section 48. And with that, guys, we come to an end of this chapter. Guys, just recapping the entire chapter through sections and GST numbers. Section 37 is outward supply, Gstr 1. 38 not notified. 39 is the monthly return, which is 3B, 4, 5, 11. 40 is the first return. 44 is the annual return. 45 is the final return. 46 is a knock on your door asking you to file your return. 47 is the late fee, which now has been rationalized, and 48 is a GST practitioner. Now guys, please tell me, is return filing a very big task for a person who's registered? Because every month, will you be making outward supplies, guys? So for that, you will have to file GSTR 1. So in a year, how many GSTR 1s will you have to file? Even if it's nil, how many GSTR 1s you'll have to file? You'll have to file 12 GSTR 1s. Even if they are nil, yes, even if they are nil. So 12 times call up your CA and figure whether he's filed or not. And even if one of them you missed out, can there be a penalty or late fee? Yes. And every month for overall, will you have to file GSTR 3B? So how many of these do you need to file? Again, you need to file 12. So 24 returns here only. Then do you need to file annual return? Yes. Do you need to do rectification? So much mehnat, guys. For a CA, that's a lot of money though. That's a lot of fee. But they complain to the government that, listen, this is not right. Please let us file our returns quarterly. So we'll, in 2-3 minutes, we'll resume again and we'll see what is this quarterly return. Guys, 2-3 minutes and we'll continue with this chapter. I'm taking a 2-minute break here and we'll come back. This is a quarterly return. After this chapter is over. We'll have a look at all the questions, a module, QuickBook, and then we'll do the last chapter, invoice. Then exemptions will remain and we'll open up for whatever we want after that. So today and tomorrow also we can continue GST, guys. We have a good amount of time, so no problem with that. Yes, thank you. Yes guys, back and looking at this quarterly return concept, which is amazing on paper. In real life also, guys, check it out. So this is battery supply company. They told the government, we don't want to file monthly return. The government said, no problem. Just see if your turnover last year was up to 5 crore. They checked, their turnover was up to 5 crore. Then the government says, perfect. Then you can take up the quarterly return scheme. And you have to file your GSTR1 only once a quarter. That means for April, May, June, you will file it on July, but 13th July. They said, wow, this is great. So now they are filing their GSTR1 for April, May and June on 13th July. But guys, please tell me, on the basis of their GSTR1, will EBC get credit? Yes. And EBC, guys, has bought the batteries, let's say in April. When will EBC get the credit now? They will get it only in July. So do they want to wait so much? No. So they went to battery supply company saying that this is not right. Just because you wanted to file quarterly return, you are putting me in a spot. So they went to the government back saying, find a solution. The government says, no problem. File your GSTR1 quarterly only. But what you do is every month, if you have B2B supplies, then you can furnish those invoices through an invoice furnishing facility. So you can file a form which we will call invoice furnishing facility, and that you can do for every month. That is only for B2B supplies. That means for April, do you have any B2B supplies? Yes. Then you file an IFF by the 13th of May. In that IFF, will you put your B2B supply of bike or batteries sold to EBC? Yes. So will EBC get the credit, guys? Yes. Mission accomplished. EBC is happy. I repeat. Guys, are you still filing your GSTR1 quarterly? Yes. But are there some B2B supplies and those people are expecting credit immediately or at least monthly? Yes. So for them, if you have any B2B supplies, then you can file an IFF. You can file the IFF by 13th of the next month. And when you file this IFF, will EBC get the credit? Yes. Are they happy? You're also happy, because you don't need to put all the details, only B2B details. And whatever you have supplied, guys, supply leads to liability. Yes. This payment you have to make by 25th of May. So for April, do you have to file an IFF? Yes. By when do you file an IFF? By maximum 13th May. And that supply will lead to liability. So the liability you have to pay by 25th May. Okay, great. Guys, what if for April I did not have any B2B supply? Then don't file an IFF. IFF is not compulsory, it's optional. Next, now you will tell me, guys, for May, again I have some B2B supplies. Will I file an IFF? Yes. By which date? By 30th June maximum. And these are supplies again. So for this, I will pay the money by when, guys? By 25th June. Basically, this is April and this is May. And for June, if I have some B2B supplies, then will I file IFF? No, guys. For June, you will straight file GSTR1. In which month? Next month, that is 13th July. And in this, will I include B2B supplies? Yes, of June. April, May, I will not include again, because only April, May, I've already filed IFF. So only the other supplies of June and all the B2C supplies. So B2B which are pending and B2C supplies. And this again, I will pay on 25th July. So guys, this is what it is. Please tell me yes or no. IFF is compulsory every month. No, IFF is only if you have B2B supplies. IFF is for the first and second month only. True. Third month, what do you file? GSTR1. Guys, the two IFFs that you file, IFF for the first month, IFF for the second month, in both these IFFs you can have supply of maximum 50 lakh rupees. So that means, can you have B2B supplies? Yes, but of maximum 50 lakh rupees aggregate in both the IFFs together. Guys, this scheme will go on till whichever quarter you reach 5 crore turnover. Guys, what if you're a small player, every year your turnover is 1, 2, 3 crore, then you can continue using this scheme. But let's say this year was exceptionally good and April, May, June, July, August you crossed 5 crore, then from now onwards you cannot be under this scheme. Then which scheme? Then the monthly scheme. Guys, this scheme is called quarterly return monthly payment, because are you paying monthly, especially on IFF? Yes. So hence this is called QRMP scheme, quarterly return monthly payment scheme. Guys, this will go away whenever you cross the threshold of 5 crore rupees. So this is mainly for smaller businessmen. Yes. IFF is optional. Now, guys, generally one PAN, one turnover, one scheme. Example, if I have one entity in Maharashtra, one in Gujarat and one in Tripura, do all of them go together? Yes. But for this mechanism, quarterly return, I can do it entity wise also, not PAN wise. So this can be done entity wise. Yes, this can be done entity wise. That means I can take this quarterly scheme for Maharashtra and monthly scheme for Gujarat and Tripura. Next, when do I need to choose this? So let's say I'm in the quarter July, August, September. When do I have to opt for this scheme? Let's say I'm in the month or quarter July, August, September. When do I have to choose this scheme? The shortcut is 12L1. What does this mean? The first month, the first day of the second month in the previous quarter. Which is the previous quarter, guys? April, May, June. The first day of the second month is May, first day is 1st of May. So you can start choosing this scheme anywhere from 1st May, first day of the second month, to last day of the first month in this quarter, last day of the first month. So if I want to opt for the scheme, I have to opt between 1st May and 31st July for this quarter. This is complicated, guys. Please tell me if you're understanding this. Guys, do I have to opt in for the scheme? Yes. When do I need to opt in? If I'm opting for July, August, September, what is the shortcut? 12L1. That means of the previous quarter, first day of the second month, day first, month later, DDMM. And L1, last day of the first month, that is first month in this way is July, so 31st July. So when do I opt in? You can opt in any time from 1 to L1. This is the shortcut. Of course, they have not told us, but this is so complicated that I had to make a shortcut. And once you opt in, do I have to opt in every time? No, you're opted in continuously till you opt out or till you touch 5 crore rupees. Alright, now guys, was this scheme introduced to make life simple for all of us so that we don't have to file 1212 returns? Yes, the scheme was made so that life is simpler and we don't have to file 1212 returns. But please tell me, every time I file an IFF, do I have to see how much supply I have made B2B? Yes. Do I have to see how much credit I have and how much payment I have to make? So is this the same headache in a different avatar? Yes. So the government says, don't worry, we'll give you 2 payment mechanisms which will make your life simple. The first one is fixed sum method. What is fixed sum? They say you don't have to calculate how much is your liability, how much is your credit, how much should you pay. You don't do all this calculation. Then should I not pay anything? No, you pay, but you pay a fixed sum which we will tell you to pay. Okay, isn't that better, guys? They will tell you to pay a fixed sum, pay that and forget it. So this requires less hard work. Yes, the government will tell you how much to pay, you pay that. And what if guys, if that amount they have asked us to pay was less and you had to pay more, then you will pay the difference but without interest, because the government only told you how much to pay. So this is the fixed sum method. I repeat, the fixed sum method, the government tells you to pay, you pay that much without calculation, yes. And if there is any shortfall, will you pay the difference? Yes, but with interest, no, you will not pay any interest because the government told you how much to pay. So is it the simpler method? Yes. Now what is the fixed amount? They say whatever you paid last month, pay the same. Let's say last month you paid 1200 rupees in cash, then this month pay 100%. That means again pay 1200 in cash. For the first month IFF and second month IFF, yes. But last month if you paid quarterly, let's say you paid 6,000 for the quarter, then now you pay 35%. So it totally depends upon whether last month's return was monthly or quarterly. If last month's return was monthly, then you pay 100%. So let's say last month was monthly and you paid 1200. So this month April again you will pay 1200 and May again you will pay 1200. But last return was quarterly, then you will pay 35%. Is these percentages fixed? Yes, the percentages are fixed. 100% if the last return was monthly, and if the last return is quarterly, I want to break it up into 3, so 35%. Pay this much. And if there is any shortfall guys, after you pay this much, in the end the third month you realize there's a shortfall, do you have to pay any interest? No, no interest. Why? Because who told you this 100% and 35% guys? The government, and hence you don't have to pay any interest. Guys, please tell me, is this a simpler method? Yes. But you have a CA in your office to do this calculation. So you say, no, I will self-assess. So this is called self-assessment method. In the self-assessment method, guys, very, very simple. You say, I will determine how much is my liability. I will determine how much is my credit. And I will self-assess and I pay. Let's say I'll self-assess and I pay 12,000 rupees. Guys, is this more difficult to do in real life? Yes, you will have to figure out what is your liability from your supply. Supply leads to liability. And you will have to see how much you purchase, what is the credit, and you'll have to calculate. And guys, if in this case, if there is any shortfall, let's say in the third month you figure there's some shortfall, then will you have to pay interest? Yes, you will have to pay interest because this is what you chose and hence you'll have to pay interest. Guys, this is a very complicated, but I have simplified it for you. I'm assuring you that this is important for your exam. Guys, please repeat. Is this a simpler method to file your returns? Yes. What is the name of the method called? Quarterly return monthly payment. Do you file your returns quarterly? Yes. Is this great for you? Yes. But for your recipient, the person who's buying goods for you, is it bad? Yes. So do you have an option of filing IFF? Invoice furnishing facility? Yes, it's optional for B2B supplies. First and second month you can file IFF by 13th and pay the amount by 25th. For payment you have two methods, fixed sum and self-assessment. Guys, if you don't have B2B, don't file IFF, no problem. 5 crore threshold, if you cross the threshold you're out of the scheme. Entity wise you can choose the scheme. You can opt in the scheme from 1 to L1, that's a shortcut. And there are two methods, fixed sum where they tell you 100% or 35% and no interest if any shortfall, and self-assessment is your headache, so you have to pay any interest on the shortfall. Yes. So this is the QRMP scheme guys. All of this is there in the quick book which I'm going to open up now because we are done with this chapter, done and dusted. So let me open up the quick book so that you know how to revise this very, very soon. This is CA Inter November 22 fast track course. This is a quick book. Here we go. Perfect. The quick book is just 35 pages with a lot of extra space like this, what you're seeing on the screen. Here is the returns chapter. Guys, under GST, does every registered person have to file returns? Yes. Does the tax need to be self-assessed? Yes, guys, they will believe you. You self-assess, you pay. And does the return filed by one person has an impact on the other person? Yes, especially GSTR 1. Next, guys, GSTR section 37, GSTR 1. Do you know what is not compulsory? What is this shortcut? Yes. GSTR 2 has not been notified. GSTR 3B is the normal return, section 39, again is not compulsory. GSTR 4, you wake up 4 times. Guys, here the payment has to be done quarterly. The return is filed only once in a year, so it's delinked. GSTR 5 is by NRTP, but if their registration gets ended, then within 7 days they have to file the return. If you make any mistakes, you can always change it in the month you discover the mistake, but there's a timeline to do that. The timeline is the same as section 16.4. First return, section 44, annual return, 9 lakh rupees as a shortcut, guys, is not casual. That's a slightly different shortcut here. This used to be earlier, guys, that you could be audited. Now it has been removed. So I have also removed it like this. So you know it was there earlier, but now removed. There is a final return. UINs have to file GSTR 11. There is a notice. They will knock on your door if you don't file your return. There is a late fee. The late fee has been rationalized. So this is the rationalization of the late fee. There is something called GST practitioner, and there is a quarterly return monthly payment scheme, if you know L112L1. Alright. Perfect. So guys, even GSTR 3B can be filed quarterly. So once you choose this scheme, guys, GSTR 1 also quarterly and GSTR 3B also quarterly. Guys, let's open up the module now and let's see what all questions are there in the module from this chapter. Everyone watch out. Let's do the module as well. This is the returns chapter. Let's return to the returns chapter. Here we go. This, guys, I have highlighted everything that you need to read. In case you want to look at the module to read, you should look at the highlighted portion only. Otherwise, guys, it's a lot of time waste. Alright, let's try and solve the questions. Mr. X, a registered taxpayer under the regular scheme, did not make any taxable supply during the month of July. Is he required to file a GSTR 3B? Guys, even if you've not made any outward or inward supplies, still will you file a nil GSTR 3B? Yes, under section 39, and that you have an SMS facility for that. Yes, yes, yes. If a return has been filed, how can it be revised? If some changes are required to be made, you cannot revise returns under GST. So what do? You make changes in the month the error or omission is noticed or discovered. This is given, guys. There's a timeline to do this. Yes, in the amendment table, absolutely. But guys, tables, columns, which column, the last column, fourth column does not matter, because that is seen more practically, not from an exam perspective, but good job there. Messrs. Cavanon Enterprises, a registered supplier of designing wedded dresses under the regular scheme, has aggregate turnover of 30 lakh in the financial year. It is of the view that in the current financial year, it is permitted to file its return of outward supplies on a quarterly basis, while its accountant advises it to file the same on a monthly basis. Guys, can they file quarterly return if their turnover last year was up to below 5 crores? Yes, they can. Mr. Kohli is a registered supplier in the state of Gujarat. He is filing the GSTR 1 every month. During the month of February, he went out of India and thus could not do any business transaction. He believes that as there is no transaction, he does not need to file GSTR 1. This is the biggest myth in India, guys. You need to file? Yes, you need to file a nil return. As a CA, it is your job to tell your clients to file this even if there is no GST. Mr. Kalpesh is a registered dealer in Kerala paying tax under composition scheme from 1st April. However, he opts to pay tax under regular scheme from 1st December. Is he liable to file GSTR 4 for the month of November? It's not for the month, it's for the year. Is he required to file GSTR 4, guys? Yes. Even if you are sometime in the composition scheme, still you'll have to file GSTR 4 on the 30th of April. Next, Mrs. Zarina, a registered dealer in Rajasthan, did not file GSTR 3B for the month of June, but she wants to file GSTR B for the month of July. Very smart. Can you do that, guys? No. Return of 1 month can only be filed if the return of the previous months have been filed. X has not made any outward supplies. However, he has procured certain input services during the month. He is of the opinion that he can file nil GSTR 3B. Sorry, nil is when both sides will be nil. A is a chartered accountant in practice and is registered under GST. On a query regarding filing process by a potential client, he represented himself as a GST practitioner. He is of the view that since he is a qualified chartered accountant, he is already a GST practitioner. He qualifies as a GSTP. Is that right? No. For GSTP, you need to enroll. As a CA, can you enroll? Definitely, but you need to enroll. GSTP registration is not automatic. Quick Tax, a GST return filing service provider, has asked its clients to provide the scanned copies of the tax invoices issued to B2B customers for uploading on the GST portal. Guys, they don't want scanned copies, they just want the details. Quick Tax, you are not right. We don't need scanned copies. X Limited is winding up its business in Rajasthan. The tax consultant of X Limited has suggested that X Limited will have to either file the annual return or the final return. Guys, is that right? You have to choose between the two? No, you have to file annual return also and final return as well. Perfect. And now, guys, going to the question bank. Let's see in the question bank what all is there, guys, from this chapter. Guys, this is the chapter on returns. In the last chapter, I saw 1-2 questions from this, so let's check that. In the payment chapter, alright, let's check this, guys. Mr. Aman, a registered supplier of taxable goods, filed GSTR 3B for the month of January on 15th April. Guys, are you late? January, you are filing on 15th April. Actually, January you have to file by which date, guys? 20th Feb. So, are you late? Yes, from 21st Feb to 15th April, you are so many days late. The prescribed due date to file the said GSTR-B was 20th February. The amount of net GST payable on supplies made by him for the said month worked out with 36,500, which was paid on the same filing date of return. Briefly explain the related provision and compute the amount of interest payable. Guys, so from 21st February, guys, what is the amount on which GST interest will be applicable? 36,500. What is the rate of interest under section 50? Any guesses, guys? 18%, which is a lot, guys. 18% is a lot of interest, honestly. Into how many days? From 21st Feb to 15th April. This is just mathematics. Let's calculate, guys. 28 Feb minus 21 plus 1. So February 8 days. March 31. April 15. So 8 plus 31 plus 15 is 54 divided by 365. Alright. Next. Mr. Ayushman, a registered person having intra-state aggregate turnover of 1.2 crores in the preceding financial year, did not file GSTR 3B for the month of September 2012 by 10th November. Guys, September return has to be filed by which date? September return has to be filed by 20th October, but he did not file it by 10th November. The amount of tax payable for the month of September is 8 lakh. All his supplies are intrastate supplies. Is there any late fee payable for the same? Is yes. What is the amount of late fee? Guys, is there late fee for GSTR 3B? Yes. 100 rupees per day or 5,000. But has that been rationalized now for 1.2 crore turnover, guys? Yes, it is maximum 1,000. Do you remember 250 into 4? Yes. So his turnover last year is 1.2 crores, so he will be in that bracket. And how many number of days, guys? From 20th October to 10th November. Let's calculate, guys. How many days? 31 minus 21 plus 1, 11 days of October, 10 days of November. So 21 days into 100 is 2100. No, he will not pay 2100. He will pay maximum 1000, but this he will pay under Cgst as well as under Sgst. Sorry, plus. If yes, what is the amount of late fee payable? 1000 under Cgst, 1000 under Sgst. Next. Will your answer be different if Mr. Ayushman has intrastate aggregate turnover of 5 crores? Guys, if you have turnover of 5 crores, up to 5 crores, then this is 2500. You will have to pay 2500. So you will pay 2100 under Sgst and Cgst both. So plus 2100. And will your answer be different if the total amount of tax payable by Gstr 3B for the month of September is nil? If you are supposed to be filing a nil return, then it's maximum 250. So 250 under Sgst, 250 under Cgst. These two questions have a mistake. Come here, guys. They are from the returns chapter. Perfect. Here we go. Discuss the provisions of section 39(9) relating to rectification of errors and omissions in the GST returns already filed and state the exceptions. Guys, any errors or omissions in GST returns already filed cannot be revised by revising the earlier filed GST returns. The GST return filed by one person has an impact on the credit of the other person, and hence you cannot revise returns once they have been filed. However, any errors or omissions can be rectified in the month in which such errors and omissions have been discovered. However, there is a timeline. The maximum time by when such errors or omissions can be corrected is 20th October or annual return filing date. Let's move ahead to the next question. Explain the consequences if the taxable person under GST law files a GST return under section 39(1) of the CGST Act but does not make the payment. Guys, if you file the return but you don't make the payment of self-assessed tax, is that wrong? Definitely wrong, guys. Definitely. This is considered to be not a valid return. Guys, this is like an empty envelope given by your uncle who's come to your house. And this one, in Form GSTR 1, submission of invoice-wise details or outward supplies is mandatory for all kind of invoices. No, only for B2b invoices to regular scheme people as well as to composition scheme dealers. The aggregate turnover of Mr. Prithvi, a registered person for the month for the financial year 17-18 and 18-19. Guys, this is audit requirement. Alright, no. Let's check this question. Yes, 1 second, guys. Just zooming in so that we can read slightly better. Here we go. The aggregate turnover of Mr. Prithvi, a registered person for the year 17-18 and 18-19 was 140 lakhs and 170 lakhs respectively. He has not filed the annual return GSTR 9 under section 44. Yes, I'll tell you why this is not valid for your exam. Guys, when was GST introduced? It was introduced in the year 17-18. So this was the first year and this was the second year. And because the annual return was so complicated, and anyways the government gets monthly returns, so the government had waived off the requirement to file annual return if your turnover is up to 2 crores. That is now over, guys, because these years are very old now. So in both these years, was the turnover up to 2 crores? Yes. So did you have to file the annual return? No, that requirement was waived off. So hence there are no penal provisions. Explain who is required to furnish the final return, the time limit of final return and the late fee for delay in final return. As a good question here. Guys, who is required to furnish a final return? Under section 45, a GSTR 10 final return has to be filed by anyone whose registration is cancelled by the officer, or who has applied or who has cancelled his registration on his own. What is the time limit for filing final return? The final return has to be filed within 3 months of later of date of order of cancellation or effective date of cancellation, whichever is later. And what is the late fee for filing the annual final return? 100 rupee per day or maximum 5,000, whichever is less. This has not been rationalized till now. Who can be registered as a goods and service tax practitioner under section 48? Any individual who is an Indian citizen, a sound mind and not insolvent, plus anyone who is a graduate or postgraduate in any of these degrees like banking, finance, commerce, etc., or a CA, CS, CMA but fully cleared, all levels cleared, as well as a sales tax practitioner who has been practicing in the sales tax for 5 years, or as well as Group B officer who has been an officer for 2 years. If a return has been filed, how can it be revised if some changes are required to be made? Guys, this is the same question in MTP of November 20. I just want to show you something. Guys, this question is in MTP of November 20. This is November 19, sorry, this is earlier, but similar question, guys. And last, let's look at this one. This is an RTP, very recent RTP, guys. Miss Kashi is a registered intrastate supplier of goods in Haryana. During the month of August and September, she was out of station on a religious pilgrimage with her family for 55 days. Thus, no business transaction was made during August. Miss Kashi of the opinion that there is no transaction, there is no need to file monthly return GSTR 3B for the month of August. However, a tax consultant has advised her to file nil GSTR 3B. Whether the advice given by the tax consultant is correct? Is it right, guys? Yes, the tax consultant is absolutely right. You need to file a nil GSTR 3B even if there is no inward or outward supplies. Will your answer in A change if Miss Kashi has placed an order for some purchases during August over a mobile phone which has been received in her premises and she intends to take input tax credit on the same? Then the answer will change. Then it will not be a nil return and she will have to file a proper GSTR 3B. Assuming in A above, Miss Kashi does not have internet facility in her mobile phone and there is no facilitation center, means offline center, notified by the commissioner, whether no return is required to be filed in the absence of means to file return. No, even if you don't have internet facility, the government has created an SMS facility to file nil returns, but only to file nil returns. And that is the chapter, guys, returns. Honestly, I was thinking of starting off DT tomorrow, but we will not. I was thinking of starting DT in the second session, but we will not. We have enough time. I'll set the agenda for tomorrow's day already so that we have an idea of what we are up to. Right now, guys, we have some time, so we'll discuss a few exemptions. But tomorrow we'll do the invoice chapter, which has invoice, debit notes, credit notes, e-way bills. We'll do whatever like module is left of ITC, we'll do all of those. We'll finish the exemptions and then we will write some questions if possible, guys. We will also write some questions, especially of ITC chapter, because 8 marks the first question is from that. So we'll write some and we'll get some practice of writing as well. So this is what I intend to do tomorrow. If there's any other thing that you want me to do, we could do. We can also pick up 1-2 MCQ booklet questions and we can discuss a few MCQs as well. So just to get a flavor, but we've done enough questions and we've been doing enough questions already. So this will complete our GST tomorrow and then we take a small break for about 5 days and then we resume again, I think from 12th or 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th. Yes, from 13th we again resume and we complete DT in the next 7 days from 13th to 19th. That is the idea, guys. Deliberately we've kept a small break in the middle because I don't want to cramp it too much. Anyways, it's a fast track course, so anyways we go fast. What you could do in the meanwhile, if you get some time, in that time you could go through your DT so that when we start DT it goes much better and much smoother. Alright guys, so right now we are looking at exemptions. please tell me what all exemptions have been done already. Let me just recollect, guys. We've done healthcare services, Honase, CAP, etc. We've done passenger transport services, air transport, regional connectivity scheme. We've done goods transport services also, LL Dr. Nam, Rail Dr. Nam yesterday. We also did something called legal services. So whenever you are involved in a fight, don't worry, your advocate will not charge you GST. Next, we also saw business correspondent and bank facilitator giving in rural areas. We saw that as well. Next, we've also seen charitable and religious trust here, etc. Next, we've also seen education services on the first day itself. Have we done miscellaneous expenses? Miscellaneous, guys, have we done miscellaneous? No, so let's do miscellaneous, guys. Perfect time to do miscellaneous. Everyone watch out, very interesting stuff happening on the screen. Guys, there are a lot of miscellaneous, that is small exemptions. All of them will be done on the screen now in the next 20 minutes. Guys, because they are not very big exemption, they are small ones, people tend to miss out on these. So these are important, yes, they are important, and people tend to miss out. So let's see how we should not miss out on these through this shortcut here. Guys, I am going, and even you are going, to Nepal and Bhutan. We all are going to Nepal and Bhutan for the under 17 women's FIFA. Let's check what is this. First is going. I'll put it on the next slide. If you're selling any entity as a going concern, example, if electric bike company is being sold to Hero Honda Electric for 100 crores as a going concern, then in that case, on this there will be no GST. So this is exempted. Going concern is exempted from GST, sale of a going concern. Next, Nepal and Bhutan. Guys, are Nepal and Bhutan are neighbors, especially the friendly neighbors? Yes. So if you transport any cargo, if you transport any goods, any cargo to Nepal and Bhutan, just one second. If you transport any cargo to Nepal and Bhutan, just one second. Just one second. Yes. If you transport any cargo to Nepal and Bhutan, then in that case, there will be no GST on this as well. So this one is also exempt. Sorry, here we go. And guys, in 2019, there was a under 17 women's FIFA that happened in India, and all the services around that were exempted. So this is basically that under 17 women's FIFA, which has been subject to an exemption, complete exemption. Yes, complete exemption. All right. So guys, did we all go to Nepal and Bhutan? Yes. But if we are going to go there for such a long tournament, what are we going to do of our things back in India? So we are going to rent out our residence. We are going to rent out our hotel, and we are going to rent out our 3 vehicles. This is what we are going to do. Rent the residence, hotel, and 3 vehicles. Let's check. Guys, renting of a residence for residential purposes will be exempt. Example, what if you take a house in Bangalore on rent for 30,000 rupees a month? Will you pay 30,000 plus GST? No. But what if you take an office on rent, guys? Office on rent, there can be GST. Anything on rent can be GST, but residence on rent is not on GST. Guys, there's a small change happening on this, but that will not impact you. Guys, there's a change on this that has happened in July. Will it impact the November students? No. So residence on rent. Guys, what if I take a residential place on rent and I use it for office purposes? Then there will be GST. Guys, what if it's a service apartment on rent? Then there will be GST. Residence means for residential purposes, not hotel. Guys, what if I have a hotel which I give out? So even hotel room, but up to 1000. Guys, hotel rooms up to 1000. Remember, religious trust were also giving, Tirumala Trust, they were also giving hotel rooms, but in that case it was less than. Do you remember that? Because trust will always charge less, but this is not less than, guys. This is up to 1000. This is how GST is so confusing. It is so similar, guys, but remember, trust will charge you less and this will charge you up to 1000. This is also exempt. And next is very, very important, guys. 3 vehicles. What are these 3 vehicles? Let's check. First, there are 3 vehicles. Let's check the first one. If you're giving a goods carriage, you know what's a goods carriage, guys? A tempo, a truck, etc. If you're giving a goods carriage on rent to a goods transport agency, guys, this one will be exempt. I repeat, guys, imagine you have a truck which is lying around with you and you want to rent it to a goods transport agency like some Jai Ambe goods transport agency. Then in that case, guys, will you charge them rent? Yes. But will you charge them GST? No, no GST. Hello Achal. Alright, the second one, guys, there are 3 vehicles. The first is goods carriage to a GTA. The second one, it's a passenger vehicle. Passenger vehicle basically means a car, bus, etc. But it should be more than 12 passengers. Again, guys, today only GST, please. How many passengers were there? More than 13. This is more than 12 passengers. So that's how GST is, guys. So confusing sometimes, but we'll manage, don't worry. If passenger vehicle is more than 12 passengers and you have given it on rent to a state transport undertaking, then on that will you charge them rent? Yes, but no GST. Example, guys, you have 3 mini buses with you. Guys, 3 mini buses means, are there more than 12 passengers in a mini bus? Definitely. And you give it to Karnataka Road Transport Corporation or you give it to BEST in Mumbai, all these state transport undertakings, then there will be rent but no GST. And this third one is very, very different. Passenger vehicles, more than 12 passengers, same thing, given on rent to local authority. This will also be exempt, but aren't these both the same, guys? Please check. Passenger vehicles more than 12, passenger vehicles more than 12, aren't they the same? Yes, but local authority likes electric vehicles, so this should be electric vehicle, only then it will be exempt. So how will you remember, guys? Goods carriage, any goods carriage to a GTA, yes, any goods carriage to a GTA, exempt. The rent will be there but GST will not be there. Passenger vehicles more than 12 to state transport undertaking, yes, only to state transport undertaking, not to anyone else. So guys, these have to be very, very sure. And last, again, passenger vehicles more than 12 to local authority, but guys, in this case of local authority, it should be basically electric vehicles. How will you remember? Local authorities like electric vehicles. Is this clear, guys? Please tell me, is this clear? Yes. So going to Nepal and Bhutan, renting the 3 things: residence, hotel up to how much, guys? Hotel up to how much? Up to 1000, and 3 vehicles, 1 goods carriage, 2 passenger vehicles. This will be exempt. This will be exempt. So what did you see in Nepal and Bhutan? Let me tell you what we saw in Nepal and Bhutan. We saw that there were electric news and information satellites. Guys, you saw that in Nepal and Bhutan there were electric news information satellites which were exhibiting tall animal food. Making no sense, guys, but these are shortcuts. They make no sense, but they make a lot of sense. I hope you know what I'm saying. Electric news information satellites exhibiting tall animal food. This is the next exemption. Let's check out. Guys, any electricity supply. Do we all have electricity in our homes? I hope we all have. Yes. On the electricity supply, guys, do we have to pay a bill? Yes, but you don't have to pay any GST because that is exempt. But only on electricity. What about meter rent? That has GST. What about meter repair? That will have GST. What about meter change? That will have GST. So only the electricity will be exempt. Next. What if someone collects, example BBC, they collect news and views from India. Let's say there is a correspondent. Let's say, guys, you did not do CA, you become a journalist and you started, giving information to BBC. Then will you charge GST on that? No, that is also exempt. News and views collection from India is exempt from GST. Next, information. Guys, do you know there is an act called the Right to Information Act, RTI Act, whereby you can figure out how much Narendra Modi has spent in the last 3 years on foreign travel. Just like that, yes. You can get any information, and for that you have to pay a fee. Yes, you have to pay a small fee, but on that there will be exemption. There will be no GST. It will be exempt. So this one is electric news information. Next, satellites. Guys, do you think in India there is a place called Sri Harikota? Have you heard that in geography or science, where we launch our satellites from there? Yes. So if you are going to launch satellites, there is a company called Antariksh Corporation, which basically is a government company which helps people launch satellites. Can Google launch their satellite from India? Why not? Can Geo launch satellites from India? Why not? Then in all those cases, guys, those satellite launch, will they charge money? Yes, but no GST. That is exempt. So electric news information satellites exhibiting. Exhibiting is basically exhibitions, guys. We've all had gone for exhibitions. Delhi exhibition, do you remember? So any exhibition, guys, will they charge money? Yes. But will there be any tax? No GST. It is exempt, but only if the exhibition is a foreign exhibition. Only foreign exhibitions are exempt. Next, electric news information satellites exhibit. Next is tall animal food. Now what is toll? Toll is very simple, guys. Tolls. When you go from one highway to the other, do you pay tolls? Yes, I've just called it toll, but it's actually tolls. Tolls are exempt from GST. Next, animal. Guys, animal slaughtering. Unfortunately, I'm a vegetarian, so I don't believe too much in animal slaughtering for food or for leather. But animal slaughtering, that process, even if you slaughter, even if you do that process, that will be exempt from GST. And last, food. Guys, do you think food is exempt from GST? No, food is definitely subject to GST, but food testing, guys, food testing is exempt from GST. Alright, there is something more. Let's finish that, guys, very quickly. Let's finish that also. So let's repeat, guys. Electricity, is it exempt? Please tell me yes or no. Collection of news and views, is it exempt? Right to information, is that exempt? Satellite launch, is that exempt? Foreign exhibitions, is that exempt? Tolls, are they exempt? Animal slaughtering, is that exempt? And food testing, is that exempt? Yes, all these are exempt. And last, guys, you also saw that in foreign had incubated means started cold toilets and libraries. Guys, this is a shortcut which you'll never forget if you remember it and revise it using the quick book. Foreigners had incubated cold toilets and libraries. Let me tell you the exemption here only. Guys, have you ever gone to a public library? Can they charge you money? Yes, but no GST. It will be exempt. Public conveniences, public washrooms, public toilets, can they charge you money? Yes, but no GST. Cold chain facility will be taxable, but cold chain facility information, that is how to set up a cold chain facility, etc., that is exempt. So what is cold chain facility? That is taxable, but cold chain facility information is exempt. Incubated, guys, means started. Guys, if the government has incubated or has given some startup any help, guys, can the government also invest in startups? Yes. And if the government has invested in some startups, then they will be exempt for 3 years up to 50 lakhs every year. That means if they have a startup which they have invested in, it will be exempt up to 3 years up to 50 lakhs. And last, any foreign embassies, consulates, UN offices, etc., when they provide services, is it exempt? Yes, it is exempt. So this brings an end to miscellaneous exemptions. So many of them covered in just 20 minutes, guys, not even 20 minutes. Let's quickly recap and then let's end the session today. Guys, going concern, is it exempt? Cargo to Nepal and Bhutan, under 17 win FIFA. Renting of residence, renting of hotel up to 1000, renting of 3 vehicles to goods transport agency, to state transport undertaking, to local authority. Not today, important chapters, I'll tell you tomorrow. Guys, once we finish all of it, I'll tell you which are the important sections, important chapters. We'll try and predict the paper tomorrow and we'll do that. Guys, vehicles, local authority loves electric vehicles more than 12 passengers. Any foreign embassies, consulates, etc., startup incubated by the government for 3 years, 50 lakh. Cold chain facility information, public conveniences and toilets, and public libraries, all these are exempt from GST. This is the list of exemptions which are miscellaneous. And that brings us to our tomorrow's agenda, guys. This is tomorrow's agenda. Whatever exemptions are remaining, a tax invoice chapter, writing questions, and probably an MCQ or two. Let's see how that goes. Guys, if anything overflows, I can always record a video and upload it on YouTube on my channel and you can watch it from there. But for now, I think that was a power-packed, amazing day. Guys, I'm going to see you tomorrow now for a Sunday session, Sunday special session. I know Sunday is usually best spent with family, but this is our little family and we'll do GST really well tomorrow again and we'll end it like a boss. Thank you and all the best. Guys, eyes on the prize. We are looking at November 22 and this trophy and this prize is ours. Thank you guys and see you tomorrow and have a nice Sunday, Saturday night and Sunday morning. Thank you guys. I'm here for any questions, guys, if any of you have any questions. Otherwise, see all. Good night.